to my channel. Today I am back with another 3 looks 1 palette video. You guys really liked my 3 looks 1 palette review that I did on the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. And while these types of reviews definitely take a lot longer to produce than a 1 look review of a palette, obviously, they are definitely more thorough, and I definitely feel like they bring more value for you guys watching them. So I figured I would do another one today, and today we are using a different palette altogether. This is the NYX Cosmetics Swear By It palette. It is a very large 40 pan palette. For NYX, this is very expensive. This is $35 or $35.99, I believe, which, like I said, for NYX, for a drugstore level brand, it is very pricey. I'm going to try not to let that sway the way I judge this palette because, you know, quality is quality. But just right off the bat, I wanted to mention a couple of things. First of all, if you think you're spending that $35 and you're going to get some kind of like higher level packaging than you normally would with NYX, that is not the case. It is the exact same very drugstore plastic palette that you normally would get from NYX. And I would even go as far as to say it's one of like the worst ones I've ever had as far as packaging. I ordered this directly from NYX, so it was not even on the shelf at the store. And upon getting it, like, there are fingerprints on it now because I've been using it for 2 days, but the whole front of the palette is already scratched up, and that was like right out of the box where it was wrapped in bubble wrap. So I don't know why, but it already looks beat up. It's definitely not a luxury palette. However, if the colors and everything else perform well, then fine. I don't even care. Doesn't bother me at all. That being said, we have a lot of looks to get into, so I'm not going to waste any time. But before we start, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, especially if you like 3 looks 1 palette videos, because that lets me know that you like it and it really helps me out, and I would super appreciate it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because I would love to have you stick around for more videos and just, you know, be my friend or whatever. That's not pathetic. It's just I think that's all I have to say before we get started. If I forgot anything else, I'm sure I'll cover it in the video. So let's zoom in and get started on the first look. For the first look, I think I'm going to do something with the pinky reds in the palette, which I don't even really want to do, if I'm being perfectly honest, because I used those colors from the Modern Renaissance palette in my last video, and I didn't even really like that look. But if we're going to do 3 looks, I'm going to have to dip into the reds. So I'm going with that one first. The colors in this palette aren't named, they just are numbered on the back, so I'm just going to point to which one I'm using. So I'm going to go in with this one first, and maybe mix in a little bit of this one and put that through the crease. I'll do that on a MAC 217 brush. To deepen the crease a little bit, I'm going to go into this more plummy shade down here. Doing that on the same MAC 217 brush, and I'm just going to put that through the crease and a little bit on the outer corner. The outer corner portion, I'm just picking up a MAC 221S brush to get a little bit more precision, and I'm also going to use that to bring it through the crease again and deepen that up because it got really diffused when I applied it with the other brush. Next, I'm going to grab a Real Technique shading brush. I'm going to go into this slightly brighter, more berry color right here, and I'm going to pack that onto the lid. But I'm going to leave the inner corner open. For the inner corner, I'm going to grab a little bit of this shimmer turquoise shade here. I wasn't planning on this, but it just feels right at the moment. This is a Sigma E30 pencil brush, and I'm going to wet that with a little bit of Fix Plus. Oh shit, that's real pigmented. Wow! Alright, NYX. I see you. Okay, just to ease the transition between that turquoise and the reds, I'm going to grab a little bit of this shimmer purple shade here on the same brush. I cleaned it off on my color switch, and I'm going to not dampen it this time because I want this to be just a little bit. I don't want there to be purple on the lid. I just want it to be an easier transition between turquoise and red. I'm going to pick up a little bit of this dark brown shade here on a clean pencil brush, and I'm just going to use that to deepen up the outer corner to give this look a little bit more depth and shape for my eye. If you have a deeper eye socket, you could probably skip this part, but I have very, I said this before, I have dog shit eyelids, so I need to really work on the shape of them. By adding like a little bit of depth in the outer corner and stuff, it gives me more of a lid shape. Otherwise, it just kind of looks like a blob of dough with color on it. For the waterline, I am going to make the waterline match the colors on the eye. So I'm going to use a lip liner in the outer corner. You shouldn't do this if you have used it on your lips, or if you don't know if the color is eye safe. I am going to personally take the risk here and do it because, I don't know, I do it all the time and I'm fine, but that doesn't mean that you'll be fine. And just be warned, this is not how you're supposed to do it. So taking this dark red, which is Misfit from Kat Von D, and I'm just going to run that on the outer half of my waterline. And for the inner half, I'm going to use an actual eye pencil. This is Deep End from Urban Decay. I'm going to slope the lower lash line out a little bit to meet the top with the same kind of berry color here. I'm doing that on a pencil brush. Next, I'm going to go back into the turquoise shade, the shimmer one that we used earlier, on a clean pencil brush. This time I'm using it dry because I don't need it to be as intense as I wanted it to be like foiled on the upper lid. Okay, to finish off the eyes, I just popped on some mascara and the House of Lashes Juliet lashes. Surprise, surprise. For the lips, I'm actually going to use another new product from NYX that I picked up when I ordered this palette. I also spilled black lash glue all over my fingers and hands, and I feel like it's probably going to be there for the rest of my life now. This is the new NYX Lip Slip Lip Lacquer in the color Dream Escape. I think it's going to pair very pretty with this. This is kind of like one of those like super glossy vinyl finish, high pigment lip gloss melted liquid lipstick type things. Does that make sense? So I'm going to use a lip liner with it. I'm going to go back into the same Misfit liner. I cleaned this off after using it in my eyes by rubbing it on a paper towel, and it's almost gone now. So I hope that there's enough to line my lips with, and then I'm going to go in with the NYX Lip Slip on top of that. Stuff a lot. It's kind of got like a vanilla minty thing going on, but it's also, it's comfy. It looks nice and smooth, I think, so far. I mean, I just put it on, but it looks like it sits nice and smooth on the lips. It looks like nice and plumping and shiny. I think I like it. All right, well, I guess this is the first look. For the second look, I want to do a bit of a spotlight eye. I know I did a spotlight eye in the last 3 looks one palette that we did, but I'm going to do this one a little bit differently technique-wise. For the top, I'm going to start with some green shades, and I know you guys are going to be shocked because I usually bitch about how much I hate using green, but I really want to try to dip into all the colors of this palette, so I'm trying, and if you're fucking up, please don't get mad at me. So I'm going to start by going through the crease with this kind of like really pukey chartreuse green that's up here on a MAC 217 brush, and I'm going to start by patting that just above the crease. Damn, that's actually real pigmented. Just above the crease and leaving the center open. I'm not bothering to bring that all the way down to the lash line because this is kind of just going to be the color that the other greens blend out into, so I don't need it to come all the way down to the end. It's just kind of almost like the transition shade, except that we're not going through the whole thing because we're going to leave the middle bright. And I'm going to blend the edges of that with a clean brush. Next, I'm going to grab a little bit of this olive shimmer shade that's right underneath that. I'm going to use it on the same MAC 217 brush. Try it first dry, and then we'll see if I need to wet it with some Fix Plus. It's okay dry, but like, I don't even know why I bother to pretend like I'm gonna fucking not use Fix Plus with these shimmers. And really, who am I kidding at this point? I have to say that shimmer green is absolutely beautiful. Like, I'm really, really impressed with not only the way it applied once I put the Fix Plus on the brush, but also the nuance of the shimmer that's included in it is really, 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 really nice. Just like the last time we did a spotlight eye on this channel, I am going to pick up the Kat Von D Super Brow in the color White Out as a white base for the bright spot in the center. You don't have to use a white liner or a white brow pomade in this case. You can definitely use a really light concealer, whatever is a really light concealer for you, and use that instead. Personally, I find that this works probably the best out of everything that I have tried to use for like spotlight eyes like this, mostly because it lasts really well. So I know that it's not going to crease and it doesn't get like gunky or cakey or too much. It's like just the right consistency for my personal taste. I'm gonna pick up a flat brush. This is a MAC 242S, and I'm gonna pop that white where we left it empty in the center. Unlike the last time we did a spotlight eye, I'm gonna bring that up further than the crease blend, and then I'm going to just softly blend it in by tapping the edges with a clean brush. I'm creating almost like a Harlequin shape here, but like not quite so extreme. And if at any point you feel like you brought the white too far, you could just pick up the brush that you use to blend out the light green and just tap it back over and you're good to go. Okay, now that I have those white spotlight kind of Harlequin style lines going on, I was thinking of putting like a light shade from this palette over the top, but there actually isn't a green shade in here that is like light enough to continue the way this looks. So I'm going to leave it white, but because why not, I'm going to pop a little bit of the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner in the color Glam Rock, which is silver, just over the area where I put the white. I'm going to take a little bit of it on my finger to start and just kind of dab it so it doesn't get like too concentrated. This will just kind of like add a little bit more interest to that area and make it look less stark in contrast to the rest of the eye, and you know, also add glitter, and glitter is always fun. Then I'm just going to take it on the brush and put that in the center of the white so it's a little bit more concentrated, and that's kind of how you get the dispersed look easily with the glitter. For the underside of this eye, I think I'm going to use some blues. So we have like a color blocking effect going on with the way the halo eye is, but we are still kind of keeping it in the same color family so that we can blend the edges together here. So as the transition, quote, quote, transition shade, we're going to use this bright blue here. I just brought that down really far, like maybe too far. We may need to blend this back upward. I'm not really sure. It could be because the underneath of my eyes is powdered with my concealer, but this color is not grabbing. Like, it's just kind of sitting on top of my skin and not actually adhering to it. So like when I move it, it doesn't blend, it just leaves. But that's okay though. I'm going to clean it up. I'm gonna go back in with my concealer a little bit under here where it went way too fucking far down, and we'll fix it up. And this color is not super consequential to the look because we are using it just kind of as a transition, but I do need to clean up under here and fix that up because that's not gonna work. That was partly my fault, and it partly is not sitting right. All right, so I took off the underneath and I put just plain concealer without any powder underneath my eyes, and the color did stick to it a little bit better. I do still feel like this particular shade is a little funky. It does not like to stick to the skin, and it seems to have some difficulties blending out as well. So it's okay for now. I got it to a place where we could work with it because we're gonna use other colors on top of it and whatever, but this just seemed to be a little bit of a dud in this palette, in my opinion. I don't know, maybe it'll work for other people, but it's so far not working so well for me. To darken up that blue near the lash line, I'm going to go into this shade here. On camera, it looks like it looks black. I'm not sure how it's going to be when you guys actually see the video, but this is actually really dark navy blue here. It's definitely not a black. I'm going to pick that color up on a pencil brush and just push that into my lower lash line. Bring that just to the corner to meet the top. We're gonna go back into the same brush we used for the white earlier and a little bit more of that white brow pomade and put it on the bottom of the center in the same kind of a shape. blend the white into the dark blue surrounding it, I'm going to pick up a little bit of this shimmer dark blue shade here on that same pencil brush I used earlier, and I'm just going to dab that over the edges of where the white ends. For the waterline, I want to do navy blue on the outside and then a bright, like a nude in the center. So for the center, I'm going to use the Tarte Fake Awake Highlight Eyeliner pen and just put that in line with where we put down the white. And for the rest of the waterline, I'm going to use the Urban Decay 24/7 pencil in the color Sabbath. I'm also going to apply this same Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner in the center where the white is again. This time, because I'm not going to spread it out as much because it's in a smaller space, I'm just going straight in with the brush. I really want to emphasize the spotlightiness of this. So on the area of my lashes on the bottom where the white liner and the white under eye liner are, instead of mascara, I'm just painting those lashes with the NYX liquid liner in white. I popped on mascara in all the areas where you didn't put white liner instead, and I popped on a pair of the Cocoa Lashes Venus Lash, which, ooh, this is a fresh pair, and I forgot how fluffy and gigantic and quite frankly delightful these are. Also, I have a question for you guys. Does anybody else have like one little like crease or wrinkle that appears on their eye sometimes, but it's not always there, and when it's there it makes it really difficult to blend your eyeshadow on it, but like most of the time it's fine? Because I do, and I hate it. These eyes have a lot happening on them. So I want to go a little bit on the nude-ish side with the lips, so not completely nude, and I want it to be warm to counteract the cool tones we have on the eyes. So I'm going to use another one of the NYX Slip Tease lacquers because I got two of them. This is the color Sandalwood, and for my liner I'm going to use MAC Chicory Liner. My hair is just like 80% dry shampoo right now. Wow. And that is the second look. All right, it's actually the next day. I have a completely different skin setup going on. I added some freckles and whatever because I wanted to make this look of the three like the most like light and airy, although we have actually a full cake face on right now, so don't be fooled. My under eye area is very creasy today. I didn't do anything different. I really don't appreciate it. So for this third look, I'm actually going to do a look that's Thomas Halbert inspired. I saw him do a look the other day. I don't think he did a video on the look, but he wore it in a video, which I think was his anti-haul, and he did it with the Kristen Dominique Lemonade palette. He also had it with some freckles. I'm gonna change up a little bit of how he did it and add something else because it is the 4th of July today. I'm gonna be just a touch festive, just a touch, not like over the top festive, but so the majority of this look is going to be yellow, and I am going to be starting with this sort of orange yellow shade here, and I'm going to use that. It reminds me of macaroni and cheese. I'm going to use that in my crease. I'm picking that up on a Thrive Cosmetics eyeshadow crease brush. I'm just going to start packing that on the crease area. Ooh, yes, mac and cheese realness. It's actually a lot more orange on the eye than I was expecting it to be, but that's okay. And I'm blending that out with a clean brush. Next, I'm going to go into this true yellow shade here on a flat brush and pack that onto my lid area. I'm wondering if this is going to be pigmented enough. I might have to mix it with that orange shade, but we'll find out. Oh no, I think that's fine on its own. Next, I'm going to pick up a small shader brush and I'm going to just run that yellow color under the entire lower lash line. Okay, I've been dying to use this color since I opened this palette, and I'm gonna use it right now as an inner corner highlight, and we're gonna call this Pink Lemonade inspired because it's a little pink, and that's what I feel like calling it. So I'm gonna dip into this shade here on the back of a Urban Decay brush. My Can you tell that I'm getting like down to the nitty gritty of my brush collection and don't have any brushes that are clean left because I'm using like the ones that come in Urban Decay palettes right now? Can you tell? I'm just gonna wet that with some Fix Plus. That color is just as pretty as I hoped and expected it would be. I'm gonna go back to my Tarte Cosmetics Fake Awake pencil and run that through my waterline. For the upper lash line, I want to give our lashes something to sit on, but I don't want to do a winged liner. So I'm gonna line my tight line with the Anastasia Dark Side Gel Liner pencil. I'm gonna put a line of black liquid liner really close to the lash line using the NYX Epic Ink Liner pen. Okay, while I'm waiting for my lash glue to dry, I want to add a fun little detail. I'm going to use the Milk Cosmetics Tattoo Stamp. This is the star one. That's what the tip looks like. And it's 4th of July, so now we get to be festive. And I'm just going to put one right there. Just one. Just a little kiss. Part of me kind of feels like it would be really cool to do like heavier freckles with this look and then do like random stars mixed in with those freckles, but I don't know if that's gonna look cute or like a little too much for real life, and I do need to leave from here and go to a 4th of July party, so I'm gonna just leave it at the 1 for now, but just keep in mind, if you want to be adventurous, I think that'd be cute. I'm gonna start by lining my lips with like a mauvey nude, brownie nude pencil. This is Lyra from Urban Decay. Next, I'm going to take the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in the shade Miss Argentina, and I know you're thinking, why? Why would you put that brown lip liner on and then put this over it? You'll see. Hold on. Watch. I'm going to dab that just in the center and then blend it out into the rest of the lip to kind of give like a pink sort of a flushed effect. So apply it like that and then quickly blend it out with a blending brush. Then I'm going to go over the top of the whole thing to kind of bring it all together and make it super juicy and glossy with a semi-sheer nude gloss. This is the Buxom Full On Lip Polish, and today I'm going to use the color Brook. This is the third look. After doing those 3 looks, this palette, is it worth the $35? I'm gonna say yes, but with a caveat. I think it's worth the $35 if you don't already have similar colors in your collection. I have done videos in the past where I used NYX palettes and didn't like them at all, so I'm actually pleasantly surprised for the most part. It's definitely better than the NYX palettes that I've used in the past. Usually I gravitate more toward NYX's like eyeliners and then their lip products, and not so much their skin products and their eyeshadows. It's just usually the way it works out for me. But I think this palette has been better for me than any NYX palette I've used in the past. I think it's definitely better quality than their eyeshadows normally are, especially the shimmers. I feel like the shimmers in here are really, really great quality. The only colors that I had some issue with, and I mean only some issue to be honest, are like the mid-tone brights. So this really bright blue here gave me some trouble. The yellow, it didn't really give me trouble, but it definitely took a little bit of finesse to apply it evenly. And I actually edited the first 2 looks before I started this look this morning. So I got to see how the first look that we did with the red tones looked on camera, and I have to say that I like the way that look turned out in general, but there also was a little bit of patchiness as I was blending out the red that I didn't see in person, but I could see on camera. So, I mean, the mattes definitely are not all amazing, but that being said, this green shade up here, crazy pigmented, super smooth. This orange, also crazy pigmented and super smooth. So there definitely are some shades in here that are like really high performing mattes, but others that are just like, they're not terrible. You could definitely work with them, but they're not like amazing either. One thing I have to give them tons of credit for is I saw almost no fallout with these shades, like really like next to none. And I am notorious for forgetting to tip my brushes, like tick, tick, and get some of the excess off. So that's a huge plus because I mean, I make a mess sometimes. So final assessment, I think this is like a decent palette. It's not amazing. It's not like, oh my God, run out and get it right now. You need it in your collection. But if you like the shades that are in here, especially if you like the shimmers and the metallic shades that are in here, I think that you'll really enjoy it. Definitely going to continue to play with some of the other shades. I think there are some really interesting colors in here as well. So I'm gonna play with it a little bit more for the rest of the week. If you would like to see those looks, please do not forget to follow me on Instagram because that will probably be where those looks end up. I am at Ms. Quinface on all other social media, so come find me. See some behind the scenes on my Instagram stories. I'm posting over there all the time. I post all sorts of stuff, not just makeup related, snacks, music, all the shit. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it because that really helps me out and I super would appreciate it. And I would also like to get a little barometer about how you guys feel about these 3 looks 1 palette. So if you enjoyed the 3 looks 1 palette format, give this video a thumbs up so I know to keep making them. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Please subscribe if you haven't already because I would love to have you stick around for more videos. We've got a lot of fun stuff coming down the pipeline. As always, I already have my eye on a whole new collection that I want to review next week, and I'm going to run out to the store at 9 a.m. on a Friday morning and get it like a crazy lady. I hope you enjoyed these 3 looks. Please let me know in a comment down below if you have tried this palette and what you thought of it. I think that's all I have to say for today. I'll see you in the next one.